No one should be harmed. There is help beyond any human. And now, ADDICT.
Marcy, can you win Latin Club tonight? I can't make it.
I don't know.
Everybody says you're going to be president next year and you should use the practice. Thanks, Mars.
Marcy, I need that list of council phone numbers by 8 in the morning.
I'll get it to you, Miss Karen.
Thank you.
Mars, we got Honor Society meeting. Let's go.
Mr. Coulson and I found someone for the information. I have student advisor now. Any council, Latin club, where's that stupid advisory folder? Days got shorter, like every minute had fewer seconds. It'd be 2:30 in the morning before I get to bed, and I got up earlier and earlier. I couldn't keep up the pace. The turkeys worked for a while, but then I got to taking more and more of them. It still wasn't enough. Those two uppers left me all morning. I could do everything. I found the answer. Except in the week, I had to take 2 in the morning, and 2 more in the afternoon, and in the evening. I could do everything. I found downers, and I had to do uppers all morning. And I found Balaam at night to calm me down. But then I won another election. I did yellow jackets and red and bluebirds, barbecues. Life was like an elevator going 1,000 miles an hour, both ways at once, and always a heartbeat away from crashing. One morning, even the Browns couldn't get me going. I knew I had to quit, but I didn't tell anybody. I knew I could get myself out of it.
You sick, Marcy? Maybe you have to stay home, at least take you to a doctor or something.
I'll be all right.
You sure? Okay. See you at 5:30.
Mom was to work, and I quit pills. The Browns were off at 10 o'clock. I got scared. I nearly caught Benny, but I knew I couldn't. At noon, I got the shakes, and then I got convulsions. I thought I'd feel better if I got dressed. So I tried to get up, and they got worse. I gashed my head on the side of the dresser as I fell. Convulsions finally let up, and I reached out to get the phone calls for help. Mom or the emergency or someone. I remember there being posters on the school wall. Drug counseling numbers or crisis lines. And I remember people in the assembly saying that they'd help and it was dangerous to quit alone. I remember, but I just couldn't reach the phone and call. And then I felt my breathing slowly. I felt my skin get cold and damp. The convulsions didn't happen so often. My breathing started slowing, and it was slowing when it hit 2, and 3, and 4, but I never saw 5.
Thing me and Angie used to like to do, we would fly eggs, and we'd go out to a little airport just to watch the planes take off. We sit at the end of the runway, and we just watch them go. And after a couple of eggs, those things just seem to hang in the air, moving so slow, you can almost count the rivets in them. The pills got us numb or weird-eyed, and Angie here that went crazy when she thought the planes was coming straight at us. I don't know, man. We just kept doing them. There was no action on the runway, so we drove over to the hangar. And over there, they were working on a twin big engine plane. These huge propellers on each engine were spinning so fast. Whew. You couldn't even see the tips. We had a couple of pills left, and we popped them. And when the pills took hold, everything just seemed to slow down, like they were barely moving. two ceiling fans in some old movie. All of a sudden, Angie says,
Danny, those props are going so slow. I bet we can walk right through.
yeah, okay, let's try it. The propeller's moving at full speed and 10 feet high when we walk into them. Angie lived 2 days, and I lasted 3. Enough pain to last 100 lifetimes.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Kendra Starr and Playboy!
We placed in 90,000 in Dallas, 95,000 in LA, and 100,000 in France. Thank you. I had to calm myself down. I hit the stage, and I was not going to tell you what state I was in. The first day of tour, our second album, by noon, it went gold. Our first album was still at the top of the charts. And our new single, it was still at the top of the charts as well. It's okay. I was hot. Thank you. So, for 2 hours, before the show, sometimes after the show, don't judge, I go to my hotel room, and I get that beautiful, oh, that beautiful candy. See, me having that candy was like me giving my fans all they wanted. And once you've had it, you can't stop. The preparation was so easy. I get that sweet, sweet candy. I line it up, I heat it up, I smoke it, and it hits. Oh man, it hits. People always trying to kill my vibe though, telling me how it's gonna fry my brain or how I'm gonna end up dead. Who has time for that? Our drummer, a couple months ago, while everybody was outside and chilling, he decides to get high, go fall under the tour bus. This is fool. Then he died. So the doctors wanted to blame it on COVID. But he was gone months ago. But that's not my problem. I'm too cool for that. So, at the end of our next show, after Dallas, in France, it was wall-to-wall traffic. You couldn't get anywhere. So me, lined up my freebase kit, got my coat, and I went to work. I smoked it, and it hit. I lit it up. I got so close to that pipe, and it was heaven. My mind was gone. I tilted my head back, and I was there. Then I opened my eyes, and I feel my face, and it was fire. Apparently the pipe was too close. My clothes had caught on fire, and I didn't know what to do. I tried to get up, and I tried to run for the door, but I couldn't. I had to sit there. It was a few people in the hotel that had came out, and they see me sitting there in flames. I tried to get out of the place, but I couldn't. They tried to call an ambulance, but traffic was backed up for miles and miles, and there was no way to get to me. I had to just sit there and burn.
The second they told my dad he had a baby son, he started writing my Olympic gold medal acceptance speech. But I started disappointing him right away. There was this guy at the office who had a baby girl almost the same day I was born. He and Dad made a standing bet of $5 for who do what first. Dad lost $45 when that girl first crawled, walked, said her first word, said her second word, said her first sentence, said her second sentence, cut her first tooth, cut her second tooth, ran and hopped on one foot before I did. He made it an even 50 when she won her first race. she ran it against me. Dad could hardly stand when I cried through every softball practice or made goals for the other soccer team, and even when the second grade coach thought the best spot for me on the team was as a manager. I went out for sport after sport, and I kept being the last one chosen.
I don't get it, Tommy. I was first string all the way. MVP football player, medals for wrestling, marathons. What's the matter with that boy? I mean, there's got to be some talent in there somewhere.
But there didn't look like there was any ability, any place. Then I got to be about 15, and Dad just decided I needed to get some beef on me. So we went down to the gym.
They got a super weight training program. Nothing but best for you.
I don't know if I had just turned a corner or if it was my age or what, but when I started on those weights, it felt exactly right for me. Maybe it was because it was me against me instead of me against everybody else. The gym opened at 6 a.m. and I was waiting by the door every morning. You had to throw me out every night. I'd been doing some bench pressing one day when this guy walked up to me.
Doing pretty good. How long you been at it? A couple of weeks?
Yeah.
And you made definition after a while.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah. Of course, you can speed things up a bit.
Nah, no muscles in a pill. I don't need it that easy.
Easy. You work twice as hard, but steroids get you so you can.
Nah.
All right. I'll be around.
In a week, I hit a standstill. I couldn't pump anymore, and I wasn't getting any definition. And worse, I didn't have the endurance to work out as long as I wanted to.
How's it going?
Great.
Yeah? How much more you doing than yesterday?
I don't know.
Come on, man. I never knew a lifter who couldn't tell you the ounce when he done. You're frozen up.
It's coming.
If you want to wait. Come on, man. Try some of these.
Listen, they'll get me past this.
Maybe sell.
So I met steroids. At first, I thought it was nothing. I didn't feel any different, and I was still pumping hard when they got ready to close the place. A few days later, I was lifting the lights out of the gym. In 2 weeks, I was ready to make a big crossover on the weights. As soon as I got to the club, I'd go straight over to the benches. I'd been lifting 185 so easily, I started working up to it. 115, 135, 155, 185, no problem. I set 200 and it went up like nothing. I took another pill, I was set. I loaded 125 pounds on each side of the bar. I lay on the bench. I grabbed the bar, my heart was racing. I pushed 250 up and I started it down and the power in my arm shattered. My elbows collapsed. I saw the weight coming, but it was too late to get out of the way. Some guys were running toward me and the bar smashed into my neck. And it kept pushing until it nearly touched the bench. Then it rocked there.
I loved elementary school. The rooms were always bright and I knew the answers. But then everybody grew up at once. Everybody except me. I couldn't catch up. My first morning in junior high lasted forever. I didn't know anybody in any of my classes. And in gym, I got sick and threw up all over the floor. I ran home. I begged my mom, please don't make me go back.
Michelle, don't take this the hard way, but you have to.
I couldn't sleep. I could still see those girls in class. So I went to the kitchen, to the cabinet where we kept the liquor, and got a glass. And poured, I don't know, something. It tasted terrible, but I felt a little better. The next day was just as bad, though. I made it through gym, but no one would get anywhere near me. They were all giggling. So I knew what I had to do. In the mornings, I would take a little drink. It was okay for a while, but it was like every teacher decided that.
Tomorrow, each of you will read your report out loud to the class.
Then I couldn't sleep again. So at bedtime, I would take a drink, and before the classes where I had to read, I would go by my locker and take a sip of whiskey from the futures can I kept there. It was okay for a while. I could tell it was getting out of hand. I got sick a lot. Then Art Phillips moved here. He was gorgeous. He was in every class I was taking, but he didn't know I was alive. Till one Tuesday night, the phone rang.
Michelle, this is Art.
Art?
Art Phillips from all your classes.
Oh, hi.
Hey, this guy's having this party Friday. You want to go?
Mom's got something she wants me to do now. Can you call me back?
Sure.
I had a couple of drinks before you called back.
What's the word?
I guess it's all right. The
Terrific.
party? Gotta go now.
All right. See you later.
I drank until I passed out. I was awake all week. When Friday night came, I told my mom to tell Art that I was sick, but she made me go. There was a lot of beer around, and I relaxed when I got to the party, so Art got one for each of us.
Here, take some of these.
Pills?
Sure.
I better not.
Come on. Everybody's doing it.
I never mixed drugs and liquor before, but I took to. Art had been drifting around when he came back and said,
Here. Try these too.
"What are they?"
I don't know. They just had some over there.
I got scared. This girl in my homeroom the year before, Sally somebody, went out partying one night and she got drinking and taking whatever pills anybody gave her. And she overdosed. When they got to the doctors, they couldn't do anything because she had 4 or 5 different drugs in her system and the test couldn't trace them all. They just had to let her lie there. She was in a coma for 12 days. She never came back to school. They had to put her somewhere where they could watch her all the time. Art kept coming back, trying to give me more pills. I tried to throw them away, but he bothered me until I took some.
What's your problem?
I was too far gone to resist, and he was too full of drugs and beer to listen. The party turned into a nightmare. Kids were getting sick every place. It was horrible. People were passing out. Art was the last one to fall, except for me. The room looked like a battlefield with both sides of the war had lost. Then my head started swimming, and my vision began to fade. The last thing I saw was someone walking to a door carrying a six-pack. They dropped it and ran to the phone. That's when I passed out too. When the ambulance got there, some kids were coming around, but they all had to be admitted to the hospital. Art kept slipping in and out of consciousness for 3 days before he finally stabilized. But in one condition or another, everybody who passed out from that party woke up. Everybody except me.
There wasn't much love in my life. When I was 2, Dad thought it'd be easier for Mom and I to get along without me. So he left the house around 3 o'clock one morning, and he took the car and every penny in the house with him. Mom had to work day and night. Guys ignored me, and I didn't have anything to say to the girls at school. So I tried to find love in a formula pill called ecstasy. I turned off the radio, and I popped pills, and I found stuff in my head I never knew was there. But people always told me about acid flashbacks and bad trips, but I didn't buy that. Then I met Ben. He had brown hair, hazel eyes, and a smile that could knock you out. Whew. I see him 2 or 3 nights a week, and we always had a great time. But he told me that he loved the older women, which was perfect, since I was 16 and he was 7. Then I found 2 loves in my life. I started turning on a lot. trying acid on sugar pills, tattoos. I even had a pack of mushrooms one time. Whew. But it was more important than any of that. If I knew I was sitting with him, I'd give it all up. I came back from school one afternoon, and since I was going to babysit, I dropped some acid. Next minute later, Ben's long call.
Paul has his boss coming in, and we have to take him to dinner. I know it's short notice, but can you watch Ben for us, Jamie?
Something told me to say no. I was afraid I wouldn't find a consider in time. I'll be right over.
Thanks, Jimmy. We always feel safer when he's with you.
I convinced myself to go since acid was hit since I was already at Ben's house.
Jimmy, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Are you sure you seem kind of different?
I said I'm fine, okay?
Okay, well,
What do you want to do?
well, did you bring any CDs?
I left home so fast I forgot to bring some. I'll do better next time, I promise.
That's okay. We can use some of mine.
Then acid was hit in the worst way. That trip. I started hallucinating, like I saw something in the corner of the room. Ben, what's that?
What's what?
There! Right there, can't you see it?
I don't see nothing, Jimmy.
There! Right there! It's getting darker and darker. Can't you see it?
Jimmy, you're starting to scare me.
It was like my mind was split in two. I was hallucinating, but I was trying to take care of Ben at the same time. We'll be okay.
No, leave me alone. You're scaring me, Jimmy.
I was terrified myself, but I had to protect him. Give me your hand, Ben.
No, stay away, Jimmy. No.
It won't hurt us.
Leave me alone. You're scaring me.
He was so terrified he ran out the house. I ran after him, screaming for him to stop. He ran across the bridge over the expressway. I was almost to him, but he was so terrified he climbed the guard fence. Ben, no, get down!
Don't hurt me, Jimmy, please.
I wouldn't hurt you, Ben.
Stay away.
I was almost to him, but when I tried to grab his hand, he was so terrified he lost hold of the fence.
Jimmy, no, Jimmy!
I saw him hit the pavement. 5 cars passed over him before traffic stopped. I stood on that bridge, looking down at him. The hallucinations were over, and all I could see was Ben. I tried to climb the bridge to follow him, but I didn't. But I couldn't. So I ran too. But I didn't stop at the interstate. I didn't stop till a family from Portland couldn't let me out of the ocean. So I looked at the beach. People always left a little bit of a sandwich or half a cold drink I could get if I beat the dogs to it. They even be money sometimes. And I think about buying from that. But then I think of that. But the temptation was so big one day though. I scored some acid. I turned out around sunset and started walking along the beach. Then I heard Ben.
Jimmy,
There he was.
Jimmy, help me.
There he was, maybe 100 feet from the shore. So I swam after him.
Jimmy.
But when I got close to him, he wasn't there anymore. He was 100 feet further away. But I kept trying. And then, after that, same thing happened. This time he was so far away I couldn't see him. But I had to keep trying again and again. I had to keep trying. I had to!
something, lady? I do paint. I also do hairsprays, gasoline, glue, felt tip markers, and I've also been known to do a couple of cooking sprays. You want a huff, baby? No, you can't have none, because it's all mine. What you looking like that about? Oh yeah, that's the, boy, you don't know what you're getting yourself into, look. Well, Lewis knows. You already told me all that when you were drug counselors, welfare shrinks. This will get you all weird, and you'll flop out on the pavement, and you'll forget everything. And your brain will melt, and your liver will quit, and your kidneys will fail. You already told me all that. Oh, let's give money to Catholic charities for the little hood boy. Well, save your money. The barrel is 10 feet above my head, and you and I know you could care less. So save your money. And I don't need this. That was me in October. But by Thanksgiving, my mom was sliding. I thought I could change things. I really did. But they never worked out. On Christmas Eve, I was dead. Under a snow cloud. And I never saw it come.
Heard about kids who did little tricks when their parents' friends came over. They do a dance or sing a song or recite a poem. When I was 3 and my parents' friends came over, I wrote the joints for them. When you live with dope, you start early. By the time I was in the 4th grade, I was smoking every day. Before I was out of junior high, I was selling $100 worth of weed a day and smoking half and leaving myself. Then, I found angel dust. And that PCP on pipe was just what I wanted. By that time, Mama caught me at. "What are you dusting that with?" she said. Like she cared. But you've got to understand that this advice came from a woman who spent most of her time with a reefer in one hand and a beer in the other. No word again, word again. Soon, I became the dust of the Lux. I didn't sell it though. I was afraid I might run out. But I didn't mind sharing. As a matter of fact, that's what got me busted. Busted this J for a girl, and we got high before school, and she went on weed in class and started screaming. They said they let her off if she knocked the pusher. She knocked. The judge gave me a choice. He said, "Listen, you're either going to jail or to Children's." Jail's on the pill to me, so I took Children's. I didn't know that their drug ward was one of the worst. Sent me to the vegetable bin. Vegetable bin, I said? When they unlocked that door, I saw the vegetable bin. A ward of some of the most pitiful people I'd ever seen in my life. I was seeing PCP flashes we would never see outside. The stink was unbelievable. They looked like beaten, starving dogs. They were all restrained. They tried to get away, but they don't hurt themselves more by trying to get loose. One girl, she had flashed that fire into her, calling in her hands and in her fingers. She slammed her hands up against the floor again and again, but flashes were so often and no one's ever got a chance to heal. she had to be fed by mother. One day I couldn't speak. 2 years earlier, he had flashed that his tongue had turned into a tarantula. He cut it out. They found it laying across the room on the floor the next morning. But he kept flashing the same thing. He kept trying to rip it out. Most of these people had to be restrained. But sometimes at night you can hear them gagging. You need the flashes away. I saw what the judge was after. I quit weed and dust that day. My parents were still talking, so I moved in with my grandmother. But hey, it was nice living somewhere where you knew nothing was in the brownies but chocolate. Pretty soon, my grades went up. Then I started getting into really square stuff like basketball games and school dances. Yep. I was through with PCP. PCP wasn't through with me. January 17th, my 45th day of being clean. I went to bed. At 1 a.m., I woke up. There were rats chewing behind my eyes. I took my hand and I shook it, but they kept on chewing. At 1:03, I found my grandmother's knitting needles. I kept shoving through the rats quit chewing. I kept shoving. Ah! They put me in children's. For a while.
May I have your can I have your attention? Can I have your attention? There's an announcement that I must make. Hi. I'm very afraid and I'm very sad to tell you this, but Kendra Starr is dead. We wanted this to be a tribute to her, and so we let the concert remain. Those who want their refunds, send your ticket stub to the box office and your refund will be mailed to you.
Autopsy log of the week, 7/23/2012. Marks Clement, male, 17. Death due to cardio arrest, falling weight bar, accidental. Marcy Wilson, female, 16. Death due respiratory arrest, drug overdose, accidental. Ben Jackson, age 7. Death due to falling over a bridge, being chased by a drug addict. Anglin Jamie, female, 17. Site of death, Overshore Allen Beach. Accidental drowning. Carson Danny, age 17. Due to hemorrhaging and blood loss, accidental, due due to airplane propeller. Delgado Luis, age 15, due to death, massive crush injury. Bailey Michelle, 15 years old, due to death of massive drug overdose. Evan Janice, age 16, due to earlier brain injury.